So say if this is a stump in the trail that was completely hidden. Number one question, why did you buy this machine? This is very key, what I'm going to say to you now.
Yeah. That was a bit obvious.
Hello everyone, this is a very exciting video for me. I finally took the plunge and bought my first ever brand new snowmobile. A lot of thought and maybe even some last sleep went into this significant purchase, as it is something that's extremely important in my everyday life, especially now that I live full time off-grid at my log cabin. Living in Labrador, we have at least 6 months of winter with an average snowfall of 14 feet, so there's plenty of time to use this machine. What will I use it for? Well, it will be used mainly as a tool to aid in this off-grid lifestyle, as in hauling wood and supplies to and from my cabin, but will also be used in pleasure trips, whether locally or on more extreme, longer excursions that will take days to complete. I will take the time in this video to discuss the specifics of this machine and the exact reasons why I chose it. Sit back, take it all in, let me know what you think, but mostly, I hope you enjoy. Alright, Mel took some dryer lint out this morning. We'll use that today. Try it anyway, get the fire going, something different. This part. That's gone. You can mix that with Vaseline too, that's even better. Banana bread here today. Oh, look at that one. Just there having the fire, and Melanie noticed there was a couple of term again walking up next to us. Well, that cup of tea was good. Let's get down to the guts of this video. Before I get into this video, I'm going to say right up front, this is not sponsored in any way. What I'm going to tell you here is unbiased and just my own words as I see them. All right, we're just out cutting a bit of wood there today, and I I figured I'd include this in the video where I would answer most of the questions you guys have asked me about my other snowmobile over the last few years. Try to sum it all up in one video if I can. Number one question, why did you buy this machine? This is a 2024 Skandic LE 900 Ace 24-inch wide track made by BRP SKIDOO. Number one reason why I bought this machine is because the last machine I had was the same SKIDOO as this. Only of course I couldn't, if I could have bought the exact same SKIDOO off the floor again, I would have done exactly that. But of course things get modern and they are improved somewhat, and this is the exact same SKIDOO as I had before, only in 2024 model. As soon as I say I got a Skandic, the number one question would be, why did you choose a Skandic over an Expedition? Everybody seems to want the Expeditions. You know, they're supposed to give you a more comfortable ride and they look a bit cooler and stuff like that. But when I buy a machine like this, number one, it's about functionality, and second is practicality. Those measures determine if I'm going to buy a machine and what I'm going to buy. And this machine is not about looks per se. It does look very beautiful, very sporty. I like the tan color, the contrast on it. But I'm going to use this machine for hauling wood, or on long endurance trips, or breaking new trails. Very little of my time will be spent on groomed trails. And when you're using your snowmobile off trail, especially where I'm using it, there's a lot of hidden stumps. Now I know people have went halfway around the world on snowmobiles with on Expedition machines, and they have never damaged their machine. But I'm thinking in my particular lifestyle that I'm going to be bouncing off of stumps more often than not. I did tons of times with my other one, and I can't see this being any different. Case in point, this is where I ride a good portion of the time. All these stumps, and you can see these stumps, but just as many as you can see there, there's probably 5 times as many as those just under the surface, like that one. Underneath that is a stump, which you're going to run over. So say if this is a stump in the trail, if you look at the bottom of my machine here, it's completely smooth, and I have a skid plate put on there actually just to protect it even more. So if you happen to come up on a stump like that, it's simply just going to slide right over it, almost like the belly of a seal. Whereas this is the bottom of Melanie's SKIDOO, which is an Expedition. The bottom of those machines are not smooth, and those A-arms are very, very out there. If you happen to come across a stump like this, 2 things are going to happen. Number one, you're going to stop or get stuck. And number 2, worst case scenario, you're going to bend or beat up these A-arms here. And that means game over. Not necessarily game over, but you got to take that back, take it all off, fix it if you can, if not, replace it all. And I've been there, and it's not fun. So I'd much rather just slide over those stumps. So this is a perfect example of what I'm talking about here. I would never stage this with a brand new SKIDOO. But right here, that was completely hidden. Struck it, bounced off of it, and stopped right here. And as you can see, luckily, 0 damage. Very, very important reason. And why a 24-inch as opposed to a 20-inch? Well, let me know when they put out a 30-inch, because I will be the first one to line up for that. I do not find a 24-inch any more uncomfortable to ride than a 20-inch. My legs are long. I don't find my back gets bad. My hips never get bad. My knees, nothing like that. So that doesn't matter. So why not have the widest track you could possibly get? And again, that suits my life because I'm off trail most of the time. Why didn't you go with the 900 Ace Turbo? I don't need a 900 Ace Turbo. The 900 Ace is a proven motor. Nice 4-stroke motor. It's powerful enough for me. I've never been caught with the 900 Ace where I haven't been able to get out of a situation or not been able to go fast enough. I'm not one for driving fast either, so I don't need a turbo. A turbo is wonderful if that's what you're into, racing, or you just want to move a little swifter along the trail. The 900 Ace doesn't burn as much fuel as the turbo. So again, these are real practical reasons why I chose this machine again. When I got this machine, I got it what I consider to be fully loaded. Not loaded for looks, but loaded with things, again, that I'm going to use. It's going to protect this machine. As I mentioned, I have the skid plate that goes all under the belly of the machine. I had these ski skins put on. These, the original ski, comes out to here. These things increase it by another couple of inches of width, and that helps your snowmobile slide up over the snow as well. I had this bumper system put on the outside here. That way, when you strike something on a stick, alders, whatever, you can already see these tree marks even after a couple of days of riding. So a tree strikes here, and rather than going in and scratching up your machine or breaking one of those panels, it simply rides along this bar. I had this heavy-duty rear bumper installed, and it comes out away from the machine. If you do get stuck, you got a place to put your hand in underneath. This one is there already, but it's kind of high. It's nice to be able to get your hand off underneath lower, and that way you can pull yourself out if you have to, if you get stuck. It also came with this heavy-duty tongue for my hitch on my sleigh, which of course I'm going to be using all the time. And that is reinforced right into the body of your machine here, so it's extra strong. You ain't gonna move that. I had this 135-liter cargo box. This is twice as big as the one I had on my last machine, and it's secured with these two rubber mounts, and you can just pull it up like this, and there's a lot of room in there. Like, you know, you could almost get in there. One of the dogs could get in there. It is massive. There's a lot of room in there. And that goes on what's called the link system. I can take that off just with 4 of these pull tabs, 2 on the side. So I can take that cargo box right off if I wanted to, if it got full of snow, or if it got dirty or whatever over time. Take it out, turn it over, clean it out, and put it back on again. Underneath this cargo box, you can just place this here to tie things down. All of this stuff is really important, guys, when you're out strapping stuff on. I will get the little clamps that go in here, because I do have to put my snowshoes and stuff up there on a more permanent basis like I had on my other machine. I got my seat put on there today. I do have a cargo rack for this. This comes off so easy. I can just take that seat off in moments, but right now, underneath that seat is another cargo storage area where you can put stuff, and that's just fantastic. And if you did need to get at your battery, it's right there, so it's very convenient, and those clips are very robust. Nothing's moving there once you secure them down in place. I also had this what's called a glove box extension put on there. From here, this black thing you have here, that's for like an additional place to, well, put gloves or whatever you want. So you got all kinds of stuff in here you can throw in and out. Yeah, I still got my in-reach and stuff in there. Your extra gloves, your hats or whatever, just put it all there. And it also provides me with a place to put your GPS mount on. And the guys at BRP put that right on there for me. And I also got this new GPS Garmin product. It's called a GPS Map 276CX. And that is the most popular GPS in this area. It's a nice big wide screen. It's charged while it's on the machine all the time. And when I shut off the machine, it shuts off along with it. Some more key features of this machine is you got low and high range here. And right now you can see that I have it in low because I'm pulling wood and I'm in a wooded area like this. So you want to put your gear down lower so your torque is better for coming in through those trees and stuff. It has 3 different engine settings: a sport setting, an eco setting, and just your standard middle of the line type setting. And again, today I have it in sport mode because I am kind of jumping around with wood in the back of my sleigh. But on a regular day, I would have it on standard. And if I was on a nice long smooth path, I would put it back on eco mode because you don't really require much power. Just cruise along and keep that fuel consumption down. You'll notice my throttle's on the front. This is interchangeable, and as soon as your thumb gets a little tired or cold, you just take this and you swing it around, and that is so comfortable. I use mine most times like this. I just find you have more control here. You're gripped on more, and you just need to use one finger up here on your throttle. A neat new feature with this type of machine are these mirrors. If you're going through a thick bunch of trees or alders, you can just take your mirrors and you can fold them back out of the way so you don't break them off or strike them with the trees that you're coming in contact with. pop them back up again. They got the quick disconnect for the windshield, so if you happen to roll your machine or smack into a tree or something, this kind of comes off by itself. It's almost like an auto eject, so hopefully you won't break your windshield and you can snap it back on in place again. I like the fact that this just takes regular gasoline. Some of those fancier machines need the Supreme, that costs more, harder to get sometimes too. And of course it has your standard display here. All your tripometers and speedometers, odometers, all that stuff is there. You can tell how warm your engine is there. Also, you can adjust your handlebar warmers and your thumb warmer, all at the touch of these buttons. My old machine, when I wanted to put it in reverse, I had to grab a lever here and physically pull it back. Now it's all automatic. You start your machine with that button, and when you press on it again, it puts it in reverse. And when you want to put it back and forward again, you strike it again, she goes right back and forward again. So it's more automated. Do you want one yet? One extra little bonus here, nothing to do with most of you people. I take my dogs with me all the time. And that fabric on top has a bit more grip to it. It's not shiny leather, so it makes it easier for the dogs to sit on the seat. You nuisance. Now, I mentioned earlier on, I'm not sponsored in any way, but I would like to give a shout out just to my particular local dealer in Labrador City, which is the closest town to where I live. There's a shop there called PWR Power Sports, and of course they're in a town, everybody knows these people, and I've been dealing with them for years on all kinds of equipment, and they kind of know my style, they know my needs and what I would be looking for. And the manager actually picked out this machine and told me it was there. This is very key, what I'm going to say to you now. You can have the absolute best product available for any business for that matter, but if you don't have the service to go along with that, then it's no good. Because guess what, we don't live in a perfect world, and things fail. I don't care if you paid $1 million for your machine, it can still fail. And over time, some minor things come up, or it could be major things. You want that reassurance that you can go to your local dealer and get the help you need. Because these things are complicated these days. These are computerized, and they're like cars and trucks, and I'm not mechanical when it comes to that kind of stuff. I'm old-fashioned, so I gotta go to these guys. And in my opinion, this is the best product that I could possibly get, just based on history. And I know I never have to worry about if something goes wrong. I can always go back to my local dealer. Dale Feltham is the local manager in our area, and I'll give a huge shout out to him. He's always right there, whether you're going to buy something or you're going to get something serviced. He's sympathetic, he listens to you, and he'll provide you with the best product, knowing that you're going to live in the same town as him, most likely. And he wants to sell you something that's going to be reliable to you and it's going to work. The mechanical team that he has there, they came in on their day off and assembled my machine. And we're very lucky to have a dealership such as you guys here in our town. I think it's time for us to get on the road with this wood, isn't it? You think so? All the grub is gone? Well, guys, thanks for tuning in. If you got any more questions about this machine, drop me a line in the comments. I'm glad you came along with us today. You will see this machine being used in future videos, of course. And I don't baby my stuff. I'll try it and I'll push it to the limit 100% like I always do. So until the next video, guys, take care of each other. Get outside and enjoy everything outdoors. And we'll see you next time. Guaranteed. How come you don't stay the lines? You're just sitting there. Well, this is a 2024 Skandic LE 900 Haze. 900 Haze.
Yeah. That was a bit obvious. Haste. Take two.
Yeah. Oh, just keeps going around in circles.
Get outside and enjoy everything outdoors. Get outside.